Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another exciting tutorial with UXMate. Today we're going to learn how to use dev mode in Figma for the designers or how to create a nice dev handoff. So once your design is ready, how to make sure that everything which developers need is defined in the design and they don't need to come back to you or bother you again and again. So without any further ado, let's learn how to use dev mode. Well, before that, if you are new on the channel, make sure you already subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon next to it, because if you're not doing that, then you're going to miss a lot of exciting notifications for all our upcoming tutorials. So make sure you hit that bell icon as well. And yep, so here we are in Figma and let's start exploring the dev mode. If you don't know already, dev mode is a paid feature already. It is out of beta. When it was in beta, it was free for everyone, but you at least need to be on a professional plan to use the dev mode, and all your developers need to have a dev mode seat if they want to use the dev mode. So make sure you already have dev mode or the paid subscription of the Figma to use the dev mode. So here I'm in Figma and I'll toggle the dev mode. So when you toggle the dev mode, you can see all other clutter of the design tool is away and your design is here, and you can see very simple straightforward tools are here. So this is the move tool, which is basically allows you to pan around the design. As you are in dev mode, you cannot edit the design, you cannot change anything, and your developers will not have the edit access, so they won't able to edit anything. Okay, and you can see there's one cool thing of the dev mode is if anything is marked for the dev ready or not, so your development team already knows if something is ready to be implemented. Okay, you'll be seeing a lot of things already on the screen, but don't worry, I'll tell you each and everything and how to add those things in your designs too. Okay, so we have understood what is the move tool. It is simple pan tool. Color picker is again a simple tool which is just click on any of the color and copy the color code. It is more or less for the development team, where they can simply use the color picker to copy any of the colors from your design. And when you select the entire frame or any of the object or any element in the frame, you can see all the properties here in the inspect panel. You can see name of the frame, if the frame is with or without auto layout, what are the layer properties, what is the border, what is the padding, what is the dimension. So it tells you everything about the layer. Then you can see the code view in CSS, in iOS and in Android version as well. In Android you can see it in a compose or XML. In iOS you can see it in Swift UI or UI kit, whichever development framework you guys want to use. If you want the CSS, then you can change the settings if you want it to be in the pixels or rem, and your developers know what are the units which we are using. So mostly by default it is on the pixels, and you can see the CSS for this whole frame, which is display inline flex, flex direction column and flex start. So based on the auto layout alignment which we create in the design, it basically generates the code for the display of the frame. And these are the other styles related to the specifics like colors, background colors, and all other things. Okay, and then you can see this section dedicated here is for the colors used in the frame, used in the selection. So if you select any individual object, you can see colors only for the selected object. Okay, and then I guess that's all more or less. And these are the assets or specific icons which you want developers to able to download. So you simply have to create these assets, and then dev team can simply download them in a SVG, in a JPG, PNG, PDF format, and they can right away use it in their code. You can toggle the mode if you want to see it in a list view, where you can see width, height and all other specific properties in a list view. If you want to simply copy the code from here, you can just go to the code mode, copy the CSS and paste it in the development. So that's all about the inspect panel. Now let's understand what is this ruler or the measurement. So measurement is all these things which you are seeing on the screen is basically created with the measurement tool. So when you have completed your design, and just to let the dev team know what is the spacing between each objects, you can use the measure tool. So let's say I want to calculate the spacing between these two objects. So simply I'll create a measure a measure marking here so that dev team knows what is the spacing between these objects and these elements, so they don't have to explore it manually. So this way they knows what is the top and bottom and margin and the spacing in each elements. So you can just simply drag and draw the measurement markings, and developers will easily able to see it here itself without clicking on any of the object, and they can simply just copy whatever we have here. Okay, so pretty simple measure tool. Then we have this annotation tool. So all these annotations which you are seeing here on the screen are basically created using the annotation tool. Annotation and comments are two different things. Comments is more or less to communicate between, or to get feedback on any specific task. It is again a conventional use of communicating between stakeholders, developers, and your all team members. But annotations are more or less specifically annotated for the development team, and it is only available under dev mode. So how you can annotate? So you can simply click on any of the object and just with the annotate tool, and it will open a nice panel here for the annotation. You can choose the category of the annotation. No category is default. Development, interaction, accessibility, content. You can edit the categories, you can add your categories as well. So you can just simply click on this add category and you can create your own category, but by default these categories are there, which are more or less sufficient. If you want to add any specific category for your use case, you can do it. So let's just keep them as it is, and I'll select, let's say, development. So with these categories, developers easily understand, okay, if this annotation is for the dev team, or if this annotation is for the content development team or any other team. So you can use the annotation categories to let others know in the team which are the specific tasks for them. Okay, so let's just add something. Definitely you need to add the meaningful annotations, then only developers will understand what is exactly has to be done with that. Okay, the next thing is comment, which I guess I don't need to explicitly mention. I'll simply go out of the dev mode, so I'll switch back to the design mode for a while, and I'll show you another cool feature which is again useful for the dev hands-off, which is marking your objects, marking your frames dev ready. So when you select any frame, Figma allows you to create if it is dev ready or not. So you can simply click here and that will make this frame dev ready, and this is new AI beta feature. So it tells, okay, 13 layers doesn't have name, do you want to add them? Yes, rename the layers. So Figma will automatically rename the layers for you, so developers understand what are the different layers here, and Figma does a pretty good job in the renaming layers. I have a dedicated video, you can take a look at it, how it has created meaningful names for all the layers, but you can explore it yourself as well, no worries. So let's just close this, and now Figma has created nice names for us, and this frame is marked as dev ready. So when we go back to the dev mode, or when you share this with the developers, you can see it is ready for the development. You can see when it has been last updated, okay, edited 20 minutes ago. When you make any changes in dev ready components, developers will easily understand what are the changes you have made in the specific dev ready frames, and everything which is ready for the development will be listed here. So you don't need to specifically tell them, okay, this is something work in progress, this is already ready to implemented, you can implement this, you cannot implement this. So you don't need to tell anything. Everything which you have marked as ready for development is available here, and if you have multiple frames marked for ready for development, then developer will see multiple frames here. They can select any specific frame, and then they will only see layers under that specific frame, not everything. So just avoid the clutter. Figma has specifically filtered out all the layers here, and developers will only have to focus on these layers or these frames which are marked ready for the development. So that way you can easily bridge the gap between the developers and the designers. And that's a cool way, so you can boost your productivity and make sure you reduce the efforts and the time required for the communication between developers and the designers. Also, if you don't know how to use the new auto layout, then you can click on the video popping on the screen, which tells you how to use the new grid auto layout in Figma. And yeah, that's it. Till the next video, keep watching, keep learning, and don't forget to write down in the comments if you have used dev mode or not. So yep, let's catch up in the next video.